And bonjour to everyone here in Le Mans, the home of newly promoted Le Mans SC in Ligue 1. But more importantly, of the 2026 Le Mans 600 races. Instead of 4 150-kilometer races, we'll be doing 2 300-kilometer races, and today we will be kicking things off with Split A. So let's take a look into what Le Mans has to offer for everyone here, and looking at this one. It's a 13-kilometer behemoth of a racetrack meant to test the endurance of race cars all the way back from the 20s of last century, with 38 corners in total, 300 kilometers of race distance for each. This is a track that is going to be very hard on parts. It's going to be very hard on, of course, the tires and the fatigue for anyone who's going to be driving on this. I just want to say this one. It's going to take more than just raw speed to win at this track. You're also going to need mental resilience and fortitude, as that is one of the cornerstones of endurance racing. The lap record, of course, will be a 3:35.242, but we're expecting slower lap times due to the extreme heat that we're seeing here in Europe and especially in France. 33 degrees apparently is the ambient temperature. Let's not dwell on the track for long, as we're going to also need to explain to you about the format update for this round, the Le Mans 600. So the splits merged, the splits have been merged from the Fuji rounds. Instead of like 4 splits, we're doing 2 splits. This is so that results processing can be a bit easier. So instead of having to deal with 4, we're just going to have to deal with 2. So the splits A and B from the World Round at Fuji, the Riding on Dream 600 at Fuji races, will be merged for this round for into one single split A. So we will have a total of 31 cars racing in split A right now. Other than that, we also have double the race distance as well for 300 kilometers total for 20 laps each race. Points earned this round will not only count towards the world standings, it will also count towards the JP and international standings also as well. And here are the points distributions for this race. You can pause at your leisure, but we are going to be sharing it with you right here. 200 points for the winner still, but the points will drop down to as far as 30th place. So let's take a look into the space standings after Fuji Speedway. We're going to be taking a look at the combined standings here. Jose Rio and Dan Evans, of course, took the checkered flag in each of their respective races. And they took Bumin and Riba, who finished second in their respective races, and then so on and so forth. And obviously, this is not the indicative standings on who gets to qualify for the CEO and Zarco, as it will still be dependent on the 4 splits instead of 2. But we're just going to be sharing it to you anyway, as we're going to be seeing who's on the form and who's not. Riba Rosales, of course, being the outlier here, being the only one who hasn't scored a point yet amongst the drivers here. Let's hope that he's able to scrape by a very good result to thrust himself back into contention for not only the JP CEO, but also the World CEO as well. We also have some changes in the roster as well. Matías Zacarias is now in the Rara Patera car. Enzo Ferrari showing a bit of a non-committal, so he has been booted into the Crazy Ollie number 13 to fill in the gap for Matías. So for both of these drivers, they both have a lot to prove. Zacarias has to prove his credential as a Cetino, while Enzo Ferrari will try to see if he can reignite his career after moving into the Ollie number 13. And the other standings for context. Standings as well. Matías Zacarias, of course, inherited second place for the international standings as a result of his promotion. Dan Evans is still the driver to beat. So yeah, Dan Evans is pretty much the favorites for this round. Let's not dwell on this for long, as we got qualifying to start here in. I'm just gonna double check here because I'm having trouble with the screen with the controls here, but I think we got this thing under control. Anyways, my name is monetized in the commentary booth, and hope you're enjoying the stream right now. And I hope you're also gonna be enjoying some other racing currently afoot in Hololive racing competitions, as you may have also known. The VTube Racing Project is also hosting races right now with All-Stars' touring car with the Porsche Cups. Currently also having just started qualifying. It's a bit of a shame though. What's happening with TRP's end. Very much a shame here, but we are just gonna have to proceed as usual. We have our first cars out on track. In the HoloProto competitions, currently sitting in Hunter Mugi finished outside the top 10 at Fuji. Looking to see if she can have a bounce back in that number 40 ID class car. Meanwhile, all the others are also going to be looking to get themselves back on their right foot. One of these being Kaijin Mikalev. I have noticed, which he is in this race. And of course, just gonna do some slight corrections here, and we're just gonna take a look. Of course, if you do pay your attention here, Mikalev did finish 13th, so that is also not pretty much ideal stuff for the Sakuramico driver. I do note this. I'm just gonna do some recalibration here for the standings while I do know that there are some errors. Well, we're gonna take some time to readjust things. We're not gonna be paying attention to all the others here. Asano has actually had a very good run though in the most recent races. In HoloProto world. Of course, Asano did pull up with some heroics, finishing 4th in the race at Fuji. We're just gonna see how it goes for him. As guess who isn't behind him? Alex Grant. Oh my god, have you seen the CCGG moment? Have you seen the Auto Fister? They're meant for each other. The Yuri levels are absolutely crazy. But anyways, let's not back ourselves too much, as we're gonna go for one onboard lap here in Le Mans. See how it goes. We'll be facing the circuit on a lap-to-lap basis. Coming into the final 7 corners here into the fourth chicane and the chicane with a Honda. I apologize. But anyways, I'm exiting the final corner. Start line knocking left here in Le Mans into the Dunlop curves. which basically Mark Start 1 still have the old sponsorship set tradition. Almost flat at Dunlop, but because you have to immediately break into the Dunlop chicane. Just taking it easy at the front there. And then trying to get a good exit here into La Chapelle. Flat around here before hit heavy braking, another heavy braking, but that one brake onto the La Forêt. And then into Tetra Rouge. Use the grass as a marker for when you start to have one bridge bit. And then once you have exited Tetra Rouge, you're coming into the Atlantic curve. Pretty much flat out from this point on until with the first chicane. The Tetra legs, but from the long straight into the braking here, this will test not only your brakes but also your suspension as well. There will be lots of travel on the Hugo Express. 100-meter mark into the Daytona chicane. Covering easily for the second part of the back straight here. Great run from Honda so far. Still looking pretty steady there for the Team Marine driver as he is going to barrel his way into second chicane in the straight. This one is chicane. 100-meter mark as per usual. Hit the apex. Don't go over it over too much unless you don't get to track with its violations. And going into the final part of the straight here. Hit the apex of the corner, immediately brake into Mulsanne and down into first gear. You saw. Stretch of straight here onto both curves, pretty much flat out still from here, and then into Indianapolis. Still. Oh wow! Wait. Did it literally end at 7 minutes? Because, oh my god, what happened? Hang on. What happened there? Do I need to set the qualifying to 15 minutes? Because I'm not sure what happened. What? Give me a second. This is a bit awkward because I saw the time dropping down. Did it literally end? Oh my god. Probably need to redo qualifying. Oh my goodness. Looks like we're gonna need to give us a minute, as we're also gonna be taking a big look as to what happened there. Apparently 7 minutes isn't enough. Okay, we're gonna try this again. Oh dear. Looks like looks like the VTRP has got themselves back running in the Stars Touring. So we are just gonna check what happened around the grounds right now, as we're just gonna while we're waiting for the cars to make out on the track here and to resume the progress of qualifying, we're just gonna see what what's currently happening in the side of the VTuber Racing project. Star Starting is currently happening right now, and they have a great obsession with chase cam, on which I still don't probably understand the logic in this one. Okay, we got the cars back out on track. We're just gonna show you what's happening in the ARO first. So we're gonna try to extend the qualifying session to 15 minutes because apparently there are changes where because the driver on all these cars did not make the start flying and did not settle that time in time. This has resulted in This has also resulted in the qualifying just abruptly ending like that and not having a proper qualifying session in. So we're just gonna do a bit of a check here. So qualifying has just ended and VTRP's has ended. To the grid here. Not exactly. The qualifying has just started. This is what's happening in the VTRP right now. Obviously, racing in Barcelona, getting their thing on at the moment. All right, so back into the VTRP, back into ARO competitions here. Jace Kinsai still back out on the track. Okay, so we're gonna be taking a look into the what do we call the current situation with the HoloProto cars, and we're just gonna. Alright, so the current situation here is that Jace Kinsai in the Riding on Dreams Fuji race, he's actually doing pretty okay. At 57 points, that means he finished in 7th place. He is currently in the cutoff line. Alright, are we back on? Are we back on? Alright, so we're back here in Le Mans. Apologies for the slight delay. The mic disconnected and we had to resort to. Alright, well, we're gonna wait for Jace Kinsai to get back into Indianapolis. We're just gonna take a look into what's happening in the VTRP right now. And based on what we're seeing here, Sheehan has actually done a Sheehan has actually done a pretty decent job here right now. Currently sitting a 146, 148, 142. So we're just gonna do some slight adjustments. Give me a second. Okay, a bit better here. So currently Xian is qualified on pole position for the Barcelona race in STCC right now. But anyways, we're now back in the part where we're supposed to get into it. Here's Jace Kinside. About to get into the Mulsanne corner here. So this is the part we have kind of left off here. So we're gonna see how Jace Kinside goes about. So anyways, exiting the Mulsanne corner, coming into the Gulf, the Gulf. He's doing pretty okay at the moment. Still pretty much foot on the gas. Still with 8 minutes left on qualifying. Once we have everyone crossing the line, we'll end qualifying right here and there. So immediate right hand, then immediately braking into the Indianapolis, and then it will be a short burst, all things considered, into Arnage. Watch the markers, hit the brakes immediately into the section here in Arnage, and then full flat and full corner commitment from this point on, because you don't have this to go to Busan, but you've got the multiple fast left and right handers coming at you almost immediately. Here comes one of them. Watch the curves. 304 H51. Putting it around in 5th gear, and then doing pretty okay into pump, and then karting. Still staying in 5th gear right now. Slightly on the curves there, and then into Corvette, still pretty much flat, and then into Maison Blanche, still pretty good so far, and then into the final set of chicanes. Here comes the Ford and the Duracopmo chicane, down into 2nd gear to slow your car down, to start a lap once again. That will be Jace Kinside's lap. It will only be 340, 36. It will be a 346.801 for the guy Louis number 61. DCM has currently set the pace right now with 346.30 for Omar Polka. Running 5th in the Sharon flight number 20 after missing out on the race at Fuji Speedway. He's looking to make amends. Multiple other cars we've yet to cross the line. Great Brower, professional front row start from him. Only 5 tenths behind DCM, who's been in reach rate of 4th lately for the driver currently running in pole position. Already won a race in. If you look at the information here. HoloProto in Motegi in Split A, which puts him in, of course, as we established earlier, the top of the place itself at the top of the standings here. But what the hell? Bo Shakefreza has placed that almost in end number 77 on pole position right now, 339.757. Only 4 cars are yet to cross the line. Matias Zacaras being one of them. He's only going to qualify 24th. And then looking into the last cars who are currently still looking to see where Riba is. Hanari Miyuki, of course, also has not started a lap here. I really can't tell. Oh, Kame Riba has issues with the car, so he's not going to compete any further in qualifying. So we are going to wait until Hanari Miyuki crosses the line, and then we will immediately finish this qualifying session. This is looking very good though. Only 1/10 of a second or 2/10 of a second behind after 2 sectors. Hanari Miyuki doing a very good job there on that Kobo number 40. Very much having that. She's basically staying in 6th gear. Not sure if this is actually going to help, but it looks to me that She has disrupted her flow after only staying in 6th gear. By the time she continues on into the final S's, but that doesn't matter because she now places her car in 2nd place. Only behind Mawashaki Freza, still behind the lifetime target by 4 seconds, but that doesn't really matter. As long as there's good racing, that's what matters. Well, and with all cars, bar Riba, who has an issue with the car, having already crossed the line for their lap, we will end the qualifying session right here and there. So we will give a bit of a congratulations to Mohammed Shakif Reza, who, of course, will start on pole position. Congratulations to the Mimosas and Internet driver, who, of course, is going to make something happen in Ninichi number 77. Obviously, already having pedigree in winning ways when it comes to HoloProto, although it's only for an invitational race. That, of course, has only been his only crowning achievement in HoloProto so far. Well, let's take a look into the starting lineup here for Split A of the Le Mans 600. The first of 2 races for this weekend. So Mama Shakareza sits on pole position in the Moses Nene number 77. And he is doing very well at the moment. In gosh, that Moses Nene machine. And lining up alongside will be Dan Evans in... hang on. Yeah, Hanari Miyuki will also start in 2nd place for Kobo Kanairu. Dan Evans will start 3rd for Irania 15, the current championship leader in World and World Series Split A and International. This is where he will start. UCM starts 4th for Omar Polka. Ray Prower, who of course also has race-winning pedigree. Of course, last won in HoloProto with Mokoko in the Fuji 100-minute races in the World CEO. Then going on starts 6th for Sarapekora with Ozzy Wizard 7th alongside Roger Kaczynski on row 4. Ray Barzal starts 9th with Jay Goodwin 10th for Okamio in row 5. Row 6, Enzio Ferrari trying to prove the critics wrong as he will now start in row 6 alongside Hyota Asano for Jijimori. Row 7, Javier Lusby and Hofumi. Row 8 will be Alton Santero and Sami Ake. Alex Grant, the other side of the CCGG Madness, will start on row 9 alongside Hoshizano Rio. Momokazu starts 19th alongside Joshua Sahi, will be starting in 20th place. Rossi Garaccio, who has been pretty much on fire when it comes to Hololive GT3 in recent form so far, will start 21st for Laplace, with Takeda Adachi 22nd for Ninuma Inanis. Corey Recommended starts 23rd for Takanashi Kara, with Isakaji Mikola 24th for Sakaramiko. Mateo Zacarias in the new Rapatera number 60 is going to find it a bit difficult to adjust with him currently in 25th. Aquazuri starts alongside him in 26th. Yukihara Toka on row 14 with alongside Jace Kensai, the Lamy and Louis cars on row 14. Evelyn Cromer for ERB starts in 29th in the 15th row alongside Tawan Boomin for Fuawa in 30th. And Kamina Riba starts at the back of the field after not partaking in qualifying, but has been given the dispensation to start in this race. Alright, we're just gonna do some intermission first before we get the race properly underway. We got 31 cars in the field right now. Very healthy, I would like to remind you. But also I want to update you on what's happening in the SCCC right now. So the race has just started in Barcelona. And of course, Sheehan has a very good start here over Astaleda. And obviously in the field of 20 and making it to turn 1, it should be no problem for these a few of these cup cars currently running here in Barcelona. No issues at the moment. All right, so we are gonna move over into what's happening currently in HoloProto right now. We got 31 cars lined up on the grid. here in the Split A race here in Le Mans. As we're about to get the race finally underway. We have Hanari Miyuki are at the ready. And then there's also Momoshiki Reza on pole position to start this race. And we are now underway for the Le Mans 600 Split A race. We are green here. And Hanari Miyuki, of course, has had a very good start here as they now come into the Dunlop chicane. Oh, and a bit of an issue there for Miyuki. And someone actually tried to test the curbs. I thought there might be a crash there, but currently all 31 of the cars have gone out with no issue at the moment. There might be some bunching out at the back of the pack. Even Kaminari Riba has been able to take the start. Miyuki now leads over Shaka Reza as they're now coming to Tenta Rouge. Duciem in third, Evans fourth, Goyana in fifth, Kaczynski sixth, Ray Power in seventh, Wizard eighth, Ray Gonzalez ninth, and Jay Goodman runs out of top 10. Great stuff there at the moment here for the also Wizard currently going side by side with Ray Gonzalez. As they're now coming into the first of the two chicanes in the Mulsanne. Oh, and there is a bit of a... Okay, there might be issues, there might be issues. And there is a bit of a... Oh my goodness, we have seen Assetto Corsa crash. Assetto Corsa has crashed. My goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. We're just gonna... Oh dear. All right. So we're just gonna see if we can fix this one because yep. It's pretty much not ideal here at the moment. So we're just gonna have to manually restart the grid here for this race. We have done our qualifying, so we should have no problems. So just to reiterate, Shaka Reza and Hanari Miyuki will start on the front row. We're just gonna take a bit of a look here to see what is currently on here, as we have also turned things off by accident. All right. So Shaka Reza and Hanari Miyuki make up the front row. Evans and Maverick Duciem make up row 2. Gray Prower makes up row 3 alongside Danilo Goyena. And then we also have Osne Wizard on row 4 with Raijin Kaczynski. And then row 5 will be Raymark Rosales and Jake Goodwin. Enzo Ferrari will start in 6 alongside Hyuta Asano. And then Javier Lusby will start in 13th. Oh. And then Hofumi and Altern Tanarao. So Shaka Reza, Miyuki, Evans, Duciem, Grape Prower, Duciem, Prower, Goyena, Wizard, Kaczynski, Rosales, Goodwin, Ferrari, Asano, Lusby, Fumi, and then Tanarao. And then continuing on the grid, it will be Sami Ake and Alex Grant. Sami Ake, Alex Grant, and then Hoshizono Rio and Mohamed Cashew. and then Joshu Asahi, Ake Grant, Rio Cashew, and then Asahi, and then Rustin Carrasio, Takeda Adachi as well in Rustin Carrasio, Adachi, and then Corey Rico Mendez, Mikalev, Skyji Mikalev, and Matthias Zacharias. And then we got Aqua Azuri, Yukihara Toka. Yukihara Toka. And then after that we have Jace Kinsai. As well as, I'm just gonna double check here. Kinsai, and then Kuromi, and then Dawan Bumin, and then Kaminari Riba. That will be your grid for this race, as we're gonna see if we're able to make the restart. All right, so we're just gonna see if we're able to host the race once again, as this crash has all right, I'm gonna do a bit of I'm gonna do another around the grounds moment while you guys are at it. All right, so another around the grounds moment in the SDCC at the moment. Xian still has the race currently under control here. Give me a second. With currently leading Athaleta by just about over a second here. So I say it's still pretty good right now with half the race already being elapsed. All right, so we're gonna do another attempt at the start. Sorry, I just realized I had set the starting position as random. So again, once again, I apologize. So many scuff. I cannot believe this. I have seen so much scuff so far, and we're already at 30. All right, so we're gonna try again. We're gonna hope that the AC does not crash after they've entered the Mulsanne. So we're just gonna do this. All right, take two at the start for once. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we're just gonna have to keep going. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and see how it goes here, as we're gonna see Shakureza Hanari Miyuki lead the field once again for the start of Split A of the Le Mans 600, and we are now seeing Hanari Miyuki do an amazing start once again. All right, so Hanari Miyuki has done a very good start here, as we are now going to be seeing everyone trying to survive turn one once again after the delayed start. And oh, that is an issue there for Corey Rico Mendes, who has taken the curb way too aggressively and has backed up the field and has collected more cars, and there's going to be a massive pileup. That's Joshua Asahi currently being blocked. More car, and that's a traffic jam here that's going to cause 2 cars out, and he's continuing to cause problems for multiple other drivers. That's already Joshua Asahi out of this race. Kaminari Riba is already out. Riba is out. Bumin is out. Kuromi, Matthias Zacharias, and Ray Mark Rosales out of this race, as does Kurashio, Asahi, Kashu, Alex Grant, Hofu me. That leaves only 21 cars remaining at the start of the Le Mans 600 in Split A. Well, the good news is that there are no crashes, so we're going to be seeing racing beyond the first chicane, and we're now seeing Dan Evans about to go side by side with Dan Evans. Shaka Reza is also going to go side by side. We might see some 3-wide action coming into the Mulsanne corner. Shaka Reza currently leads the pack. Oh, well, they're not yet coming into the Mulsanne corner, but you saw some 3-wide action. Parity between these three cars. As now Shaka Reza has taken the lead here in Le Mans as they're now coming into the exit of the Hunaudière. Shaka Reza now leading this pack, but he's basically poking the slipstream. That's going to slow him down. Meanwhile, as they're about to come into the chicane, already the Mulsanne corner here, Shaka Reza currently still leads. Miyuki currently in second, Dusiem in third. Still easy come, easy go for these drivers here. And Corey Jimenez, all things considered, is still in this race, but he has basically spun out the field here and has basically caused the retirement of. Actually, I'm going to take a look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars. 8 cars were out of this race because of him. So I'm not gonna. DSQ is definitely not possible, but it will be a severely heavy penalty. It could be a 4-minute penalty, all things considered, because he's caused a crash that wiped out 8 cars. And that, in turn, has also doomed Raymar Gonzalez to non-qualification for the World CO Series, as he has yet to score a point, and his chance to score points has already gone down the drain. And this is what we call a suboptimal moment for the cars here, as we're now going to be seeing the race just go on as per usual here. Shakarza now leads the field by 1 second over Maverick Dusiem. So lap 2 has just started. Shaka Reza still currently in control of this race. Dan Evans, the current overwhelming favorites to keep the championship lead, is currently running in 4th place. He's in an absolutely rich vein of form right now. Alright, so currently in this race, it's still Derby season with the Zine Battle, so they're already going down the inside of basically Daniel Goyena. The Formula Hololive champion of 2025 will now make his move as a Samiake, who now goes on the inside of Kaczynski. Prower also sniffing a move against Dan Evans here. Lots of moves trying to be formed here at the Mulsanne Straight. We're seeing India Ferrari number 13 also on the hunt there against Asano. He's doing a very good job right now, at the very least keeping himself out of trouble. But for these 8 cars, they're all good. They're all pretty much very angry at Corrica Mendez's shenanigans. And the stewards are also going to be having a sharp eye on him. And penalty for Corey Mendez that will essentially render him out of contention for this race. 8 cars out of this race, by the way. 8 cars out, as we are now seeing also Enzo Ferrari also trying to make a move here. Is we're seeing also the Wizard actually providing a massive block for all these drivers here. As we're seeing also Kaczynski taking his position back from Samiake. What's currently happening in Star Touring right now? What's happening after 8 laps of racing? Already 10 laps of racing, while Xian is still currently leading here. As we're going to be taking a look here as to what's currently happening in this one. So it is said that 4 of the 22 entries will be gone after this race. Hanasaki Miyabi, Arandis, and Rika alongside Kishido Tenma will be out of basically the series after Barcelona. So looking into Xian, who will be staying in the standings here, and also taking a look into what has been the standing so far. So it's been a pretty okay race for them so far, but you can't help but shake the feeling that this shouldn't be happening in the first place. Well, we'll talk about that in another day. Anyways, back into the racing scene here in HoloProto in Le Mans. And we're now seeing Ake getting very close there once again there to Raiji Kaczynski. Shaka still controls this race as we now started lap 3. Let's take a look into the race wheel monitor. It is a pretty much a question mark here, but it looks to me that we will be seeing at least 2 pit stops with the fuel tank not being as large as you think in these types of cars. Azuri has made the pass on to Puerto Rico Mendez, who have been confirmed to have taken 4 minutes for Puerto Rico Mendez for that basically his crash with 8 cars. We sent 8 cars out of the race, by the way. Asano has now moved up into 9th place. And Great Per Hour has also retired from this race with engine problems. Anyways, let's not backtrack ourselves way too much. We're just seeing some side-by-side action here. Here comes Enzo Ferrari trying to see if he can line up a move there against Asano. Meanwhile, more moves over there. Lusby has made the pass on to, looks like Alcantara out there. Goyena also trying to line up a move there against Ferrari. The slipstream being used to great advantage there. Goyena now trying to see if he can go down the inside. You can see here, there was a block there from Enzo Ferrari, but it's just not going to be enough there. Goyena trying to get a good exit there, but it's not going to be enough for him as well. Ferrari now leads this 10th place battle. We're going to be seeing multiple pit stops, 2 pit stops minimum for these cars here, as we've now started as we are now still on lap 3 here. And Tararo has re-overtaken Javier Lusby. As they're about to come into Indianapolis. Here comes Goyena. A move down the inside potentially for the Usada Mikora driver. The answer will be no. Afternoon in Le Mans, and at the same time it's also a wonderful time for I do want to point out once again, if there are of course Japanese viewers, I can only apologize. 8. So looking into the predictions here with like the high speed of this race here, we are going to be expecting this race to end before 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Local time. Something beyond that, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Duciem is trying to line up a move against his fellow Gen 5 teammate, Momoshaka Reza Duciem, who have already won one race this season. HoloProto Japan is going to take the lead here in Le Mans. And into the first of the chicanes here he goes. Around the outside he goes. But now this means he will be exposed by Momoshaka Reza. And that's a great exit there from the Neko driver. But watch out though for Hanari Miyuki and Dan Evans, who are about to go for a tag team battle here. Four-way fight for the race lead. We will see how it goes, as Evans will now try to stake his claim into the podium position, but he's just not close enough. Shakariza is also going to go at it against Duciem. Oh, and it's contact between Miyuki and Evans. Oh, that was very naughty there from Miyuki. A side hit from the Kobo driver to Kusogaki has done it again. Now Sami Ake is going to be joining in on the fight for the race lead as well. Only 3 seconds separate between first and 5th place. What a race this has been so far. I think we're at the point where we anyways, we're just gonna be sitting here. Okay, now trying to challenge out Dan Evans. This is for 4th place here. It's a good run from Ake so far, but it's not gonna be enough as they're now about to approach Indianapolis. That right hand is gonna become a left-hander. Oh, no contact between the two, but it's gonna be outside move for Sami Ake, which will be the inside line into Arnage. Meanwhile, as they're about to come into the Porsche curves and into the 3rd sector in general, we will see how it goes for all of these drivers here, as we're also going to be seeing here. We might be potentially seeing one of the closest races in ARO history relative to the amount of cars inside the top 10 here. We just don't know how it goes here. The Duciem now has opened the gap. 1.3 seconds. And speaking of which, there has been a bit of an update here in the star scoring. And if you want to know what's happened, well, the answer is very, very simple, because they have just concluded the final lap, and the amount of ground moment basically indicated that Kageyama Shien has taken the checker flag over the Gagavis battle. Hanasaki Miyabi, who is on his way out, will be in 3rd place. And again with the chase cam. But anyways, that's Hanari Miyuki there, trying to defend her place in Sami Ake. And what a charge that has been from the Tsuragawa Fubuki driver, as he now goes up into 3rd place. Great stuff from him, but watch out for Hanari Miyuki, as she will now try to go at it once again. We'll see how Hanari Miyuki goes. On board the number 40 machine, as they're about to go neck and neck. They are kind of neck and neck somewhat. They're still alongside, but watch out though for Dan Evans, going down the inside, about to make it 3 wide. 3 wide into the first of the 2 chicanes in the back straight, into the Daytona chicane, and there's contact between Evans and Miyuki. Evans, not liking what Miyuki had done the previous lap, has done big things, and that will be her out of the race. Dan Evans, what is that from you? What is that? Oh my god! But anyways, Kaczynski will go side by side with Jay Goodwin there once again coming into the Michelin chicane. They go. Frantic racing. Also, Javier Lusby is out. What's happened to him? I think some drivers are easily explainable. I find it easy to explain by virtue of, oh, it is actually an accident. So here's what happened there. So I think it's just him being overzealous on the throttle here and then got beached at the exit of the final corner. I don't think that is an issue with other cars. Just him just losing the rear just like that and then beaching the car in the gravel. Still does not explain Javier Hofumi. Just wanted to see what happened to him. I think he was also involved in the pile-up there. So everyone from Hofumi on back has essentially been retired, which actually would mean. Wait a second. 9 cars. Wait. If wait, who finishes 22nd? Who finishes 22nd? Let me just check. Hofumi is 22nd, and he is also involved in the incident here. Let me just check. Javier Lusby is also out. Kensai is also out. Hanari Miyuki, who's 31st. I'm just gonna double check here while we wait here. Tawan Bumin is also recorded here. Kuromi, who is also recorded there. Zacharias as well. Raymar Rosales. Oh, Raymar Rosales. Oh, okay. I think this will be extended to an additional minute there for Corey Rico. So the penalty will be changed to right now it is a 5-minute penalty for Corey Rico Mendez. Well, which I want to say it's a DSQ, but I think 5 minutes should be okay. This would still mean that he will continue on as usual. Hunter and Miyuki and Javier Lusby have been out for their own reasons, unfortunately for them. But we also wanted to know what happened to Grave. And if you want to know what happened to Grave, well, this is what happened early on. So we're going to go look at his onboard. Oh, he was already behind and tried to make a move there against wrong there against Van Evans there. And Great Power just spun himself out just like that and terminal damage to the car, and that will be him out of the race. So that leaves us with 18 cars remaining. Corey Rico Mendez will be surefire to be in a surefire position to get relegated down into well, he will be in a surefire position to get relegated down into this one, down to 18 points and lots of the current runners. All right, so final race reports for the 4 departing All Stars members. Hanazaki Miyabi at least grabbed a podium in his final start. Kageyama Shea, who is also on his way out, has also grabbed basically a win with that from pole position. Rikishiro Tenma and Rika in their final races resulted in them with Tenma getting 5th and Rika only getting 12th place. Aranisu, meanwhile, will finish outside the points in his final start in Stars Touring. So we are gonna take a look talking to all the other runners here in HoloProto right now. So it is still a pretty decent job, right? Decent job going here, but we also have the battle at the back of the field here. Toka, Adachi, and Corey Mendez there. It's another three-wide action here. Oh, it is a bit juicy there in the Daytona chicane as they're now coming their way into the Michelin chicane. It's now pretty much dispersed back together. UCM still under control with a 4-second lead over Shaka. But remember, pit stops are still currently the talk of the town. And around the outside goes, oh, contact between the two. But they're still going at it between each other. Toka not going to give this position away pretty easily here. Some drivers are already having pretty lonely races here. But what's not lonely at the moment is Kaczynski enjoying some action with, that looks like, oh, and that is Samyake also making the move against Shaka for second place there. As we saw, still ahead of Asano and ahead of Enzio Ferrari. Enzio Ferrari now swamping Asano, but Asano still has the inside line into Indianapolis. That's massive contact for Enzio Ferrari onto Asano. Asano's not going to be happy about that as they're coming to a notch. So much racing action at the moment as we're seeing here. Second place as Samyake comes into the pit. First car currently getting service here, as well as Raijin Kaczynski. I find it interesting though that the race has gone at this level of speed here. Ake will be filling up his field. Looks to me that it will be a two-stop strategy. Same goes for Kaczynski. Everyone will be going for a two-stop strategy. It's all about the execution, though. And I do want to point out that, remember, Le Mans is, well, it is a long track. It is a super fast one. So, we'll be able to fit 300 kilometers of racing in only, and I mean only, 3 laps. And even 1 lap for a track like this, it's very, very quick. So, and obviously there are still no reliability related incidents, but we do have about a third of the field already out due to crashes and incidents. Result in car failures, but rather just contact and crashes and all that. Shaka, meanwhile, is lining up a move against Dan Evans, who is looking for a 3rd consecutive win in HoloProto, which is actually unprecedented in HoloProto history. But Shaka is going to go for a whack at it as he now goes down the inside on Evans. So is it going to be going about these two? Must remember, he does have a good exit there off of the corner here off of Daytona, running the Michelin chicanes. Has a bit of slipstream to work with, but I think he's been too far back against Evans. So many left-wing issues with Alright, so right now we have concluded, or rather the VTRB has concluded, STCC racing in STCC racing in Barcelona, and now on the agenda for qualifying, well, the agenda is actually qualifying for the FHCS Formula Holo Challenge Series, which is basically the second tier of Formula Holo tournaments. Well, basically Formula Holo competitions hosted by the VTRP. And of course, they're early on break, so we will get back on them soon enough. But for now, we are just gonna continue on with this Le Mans coverage here in HoloProto for the 2026 season. Duciem looking for his second consecutive win in JP, and at least the JP series here, having already won in the Split A race, and currently in a solid position to qualify for not only the JP CEO but also the World CEO as well as the results. Driver. As we're now seeing Rosary now coming to the pits, it is a very simple moment for her. Seeing multiple drivers already having made their pit stop here. Samiake, I just want to point out, is currently running in 14th place after his pit stop. Asano currently running in 6th place, trying to look into something against Enzo Ferrari in 5th. Goodwin currently looking for something against Shakir Reza in this battle for 3rd place. 7th lap already complete and already a third of the way done here in Le Mans. I'm saying this right now, there's so much racing intrigue right now. And also a bit of a fun fact, if you're, we did mention about Le Mans SC, the football team that, of course, operates that currently sorry, it's not Le Mans SC, it's Le Mans FC, something like that. So they do operate in their stadium here, the MM Arena. This is their actual home ground. That's literally next to the Mulsanne Straits. So here's a bit of fun trivia for you. Anyways, Jay Goodwin has been overtaken by Shakir Reza. He's had an outside move already lined up already at the Mulsanne corner. Yuta Asano looking for a move against Enzo Ferrari. This is for P5. And they're still going to go side by side here. Shakir Reza against Jay Goodwin. This is for 3rd place. Because they went. And Shakir Reza still leading the pack. Oh, that's a massive, massive problem for Jay Goodwin. He has had a bit of a big off there. He manages to catch the car, avoids collision with Shakir Reza. But my oh my, what a hair-raising moment has been for the 2025 Formula Hololive Japan champion. And now he's under pressure from Enzo Ferrari as they are now coming into the Porsche because will Enzo Ferrari line up a move down the inside? Identically colored cars. Only blue and green separate them. So it says all you need to know about the colorized idol outfits. We only talk about the idol outfits and not the physical characteristics of a Hololive member. But anyways, we're not going to dwell on that for long as we're now seeing Yuta Asano now trying to see if he can line up a move down the inside to get himself into the top 5. Duciem now starts to fast stop the race. 3:38, 7:49 as these three will now make their way into the pits right now. Dan Evans is also into the pits right now. Shakir Reza is going to continue on. Expect even more pit stop activity. Shakir Reza, who started on pole position, is currently quite behind DCM right now, who is currently in control here in Le Mans right now, as he did in Motegi. All right, around the grounds moment. Looks like it's still a pretty long break here for. It's going to be a pretty long break here, as we're now seeing even more drivers coming to pits. Speaking of which, looking into the other entries here, Samyake now looking for against Dan Evans. Samyake has already made his pit stop. Same goes for Evans, but Evans is going to take some time to get his tires warmed up, and now Ake has his tires warmed up. Has already had a better exit from Tete Rouge, and he's going to go for a move down the inside against Evans here. Le Mans providing us with tons of racing exits, but right now Evans is currently able to hang on right now. And here comes Samyake there for what's got to be a great racing move. Samyake will now see if he can get a move down into the inside, but then Evans is not going to give this one up just yet. And now Ake is going to keep it around the outside of the Michelin chicane here. A decent exit from him. Then Evans is currently ahead, but he's going to be poking a massive hole in that car. And that's going to allow Samyake to tuck it behind for the slipstream. And that will allow Samyake to close in on the gap. It is now side by side. Samyake, the Shark coming from 15 driver, against the ARO 15 driver. Then Evans has to go wide. Again, Dan Evans has a very good exit there. Samyake will need to see if he's able to fend him off, as they're now coming into the Indianapolis corner there. Side by side they go. Watch out for any potential moves there from Evans. Might we see a massive high-speed spin? The answer is going to be no so far. Great stuff there from the two. As they're now coming to Arnage, Samyake should have this position. DCM now is in the pit. Chakreza will be likely to follow in his trend. Will be likely to follow. Well, the answer is going to be no, actually. Looks to me that Chakreza is actually going to go for a one-stop strategy, which is actually pretty... a very interesting strategy to go for, but could it actually work? DCM is not filled until the end. I would like to be reminding you of that. So the chance DCM will have to make another pit stop. As a result, Chakreza is probably going to go for the long game, conceding the lead actually early on to basically go long. If this is horse racing, and by the way, my mind is also pretty much deep into horse racing right now, you could consider Chakreza to adopt the late surger strategy of being anonymous early on in the race, but once you come into the mid or latter stages of the strategy cycle here, then you're going to be the ones who will be going ahead. And so right now, Chakreza is going to take the lead right now. Gap to Hoshizora, 28 seconds. DCM now back out in 6th place behind Dan Evans, who have already made a pit stop. So the undercut strategy is the strategy to go. Basically, the ones who pitted earlier in this race will be able to gain time by setting fast laps at the back, while the ones at the front basically had to slow down due to tire wear and traffic, or traffic. And that allowed, of course, Evans to pull ahead right now, but of course he has to make one more pit stop. But again, so does DCM. So right now it is an interesting case of how the strategy will unfold. And again, he has reported issues of crashing right now. Already out of this race. Second. So if you want to know what happened to him, well, I don't think this is an issue of him being involved in accidents, as it is actually a parts failure in the car. So if you want to know what exactly happened, yep, that is an engine failure. That's what endurance racing does to you. So, you'll be Enzo Ferrari down in 18th place. As we are just gonna provisionally lock in the points. So, Great Power will be credited with a 21st place finish. Javier Lusby will be credited with a 20th place finish. 19th place goes to Hanari Muti, who was, of course, involved with the high profile incident with Dan Evans. Sorry, one person. But yeah, Hanari Muti basically in 19th place. Enzo Ferrari with the engine failure did help him go as far as he could, but that's pretty much it for him. Rear, as we've established earlier, has not gone into the pits. The driver with one split A in the Riding on Dream 600 at Fuji Speedway for Nakari IMA. Making this pit stop right now. So Rio is still pretty much at the back of the field. Being in third place, his nearest rival should have been Dan Evans and Co. Or rather, well, he was in mid-pack. So he should be okay right now, being in 13th place. Meanwhile, Aqua Suri doing a decent job right now in 12th. Alright, so looking at the rest of the field here, I'm not sure about the runners. Gonzalez, at the very least, does manage to score points for once, even though it's only 28th place for him. Okay, Gonzalez scored points. Was it Sami Ake that didn't score points? Or hang on, I'm just gonna double check the split A runners here. It's actually Sami Ake who scored a point and not Ray Mark Rosales. Give me a second. So yeah, so it is indeed Sami Ake's, Mark Rosales' first points of the campaign after finishing in 28th, as we're now seeing side-by-side action between DCM and Goodwin. It's ended in tears in some cases. Hopefully it does not in this one, as Goodwin continues to at least give some space there to Goodwin right now. And laps already complete, and it is still Goodwin ahead of, or the DCM ahead of Goodwin. Kaczynski's ready to pounce with only 17 cars running in this long race. Alright, still issues on the BTRP's end as qualifying has yet to start for both the FHWC and the FHCS. Guyana, meanwhile, trying to line up a move against Aquazuri. Only up there in 17 because he's still running in this race. People are, no, I would argue that he should have gone for it. It's few, but disqualification. Chakreza has come into the pits. It will be a good test to see if Dan Evans can retake the lead, albeit temporarily. But the big talk will be if Chakreza is able to stretch his fuel load or was able to go until the end of this race. And it looks to me that Chakreza might be able to find the answer. He might actually go for that one-stop strategy. But will it be enough? That will be the question. Chakreza has now exited. Samiake, who I pitted very early in this race, is now your race leader, setting the pace right now. But will it be for the late race? That will be the question. Chakreza now trying to fend off against Ryuta Asano on that number 44 machine, as we're going to be seeing here. Asano already lining up a move down the inside. The EN class car against the JP class car. And down the inside goes Asano goes for a move at the Daytona chicane. Good job for Asano so far to get into a decent exit there, as he now goes side by side with Chakreza, as we're about to get into the halfway stage of this Le Mans 600 Split A race. It's been entertaining so far with a massive pileup for one, and the second part we're seeing consistent side by side racing actions. Some have ended in tears, others have basically gone like this. Chakreza now unable to keep that position to Asano, but Asano will be the one who will be punching that hole in the air for Chakreza to exploit a slipstream. He's a bit too far back to do anything about it, so... Well, that's going to be the end of that battle. Asano is now currently in 6th. Chakreza, meanwhile, is not going to be thinking about that for now. His mind right now is to see if he can stretch that field for as long as he can until the checkered flag, to make sure he does not hit for one more time. Because I feel like that will be Chakrez's interests. His interests of trying to see if he can stay for as long as he can. Possibly going to be the only driver who will be committing to a one-stop strategy. And good to know that my mic is working. Dan Evans by 4 seconds. Just wanted to remind you about the current positions right here. Reba is gonna be the one who will be scoring 0 points here. And of course, Miyake has gone into the pits. As we have established, looks to me that he will be going for long, as he's already back here. So also Rajik Siski joining him as well. And the answer will be... I really can't tell. I can't find his name. But I think... Yeah, nope, he will be making one more pit stop, and I believe it will be the same case for Kaczynski. Oh, Kaczynski will be running until the end of this race. So it will be a case of 2 different strategies going on for these 2. Dan Evans currently in a very familiar position so far. He's currently leading a race here in Le Mans. Just wanted to see what's happening with the VTRP right now, and I hope that the issue is basically sorted out, and to me that it does. So currently, we're gonna go on to the VTuber side of things in the While Great Power is already out of the Le Mans 600 Split A race, the Around the Grass moment have dictated that there is currently local coverage right now, as we now see also Hakos Bales in number 80. Hakos Bales in VTRP competition doing very well. Tawan Bumin also wanted to point out that he is also out of this race as well, being one of the early casualties of that lap 1 pileup. So Formok is not having a good, very bow day in ARO competitions, but in the VTRP is also pretty decent as well. Kanade has put herself on the pole position, and right now Alex Ren also out of this race as well. Let me just check. Oh yeah, Sami Ake, who had been leading in this race, is currently down in 10th place aero competition, but Shirakabe Fubuki is currently going down as well. Iroha, meanwhile, has looks to me. Okay, this is a very interesting qualifying session here. Looks to me that Laplace will be the one who will be starting on pole position for tomorrow's FHCS race in Barcelona. But we are just gonna talk about that later. Anyways, back in Le Mans right now. Samiaki has just passed Daniel Goyeda for 9th place. Shaki Reza is doing a very good job there. He is currently running in 5th. He's currently running in 5th, so it is a very positive run for him so far. Also for 7th place. And this is only for the FHCS, which is basically the second split of the Formula 4 competitions in the VTRP. But anyways, we are just gonna see if there's anything to talk about in this Le Mans race. Kyutasana with a 338.543. 338.543 for the GG Marine driver. Currently running in 4th place, doing a very good job at the moment. We will have to also update on riders so far, and right now as it stands, so wait. I'm gonna need to take a look into the checkered flag after this. After the checkered flag to see how the lap 1 pileup actually worked. I think we might just be able to check running this race. So we're just gonna. So we are just gonna see here. So based on the Corey Mendes pileup, let me just check here. I generally don't know how that it happened there. So Alex Rent and another car went out. That will be Javier Lusby as well. And let me just do this here. I genuinely don't know how to set the running order. Also, I do want to check on Rosales on where he ended up as well. Check here. And I do want to emphasize one thing. I do want to apologize. I mixed up multiple of the drivers here because I mixed up Corey Mendes with Raymar Gonzalez. Here's the replay of what happened. So what happened here at the start was that Raymar Gonzalez actually took curbs way too much, basically spun out in front of the field. So it looks to me that yeah, Corey Mendes was actually around the outside. So looks to me that there has been the investigation reopened. So we'd like to apologize to Corey Mendes. So Corey Mendes' penalty will be undone. So yeah, we're just gonna follow the standings from the AC chart as a reference. So we will get a bit of an update. We apologize. Alright, so we're gonna go back into the session here as we're about to get here. We mixed up Corey Mendes with Alright, so Corey Mendes will no longer have that 5-minute penalty. So that means he will finish where he should be running. So that is going to be very great news for him. Because it ended up, it actually transpired that it was actually Raymar Rosales who caused the incident. So that is essentially that. So Raymar Rosales will have to take the blame for the incident, but he's already out of this race, so that is that. So it looks to me that Raymar Rosales has actually finished in, will be credited with a 22nd place finish. But I'm not sure if he will be able to keep that, because he basically called the retirement of at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cars. So it will be the case that it will probably be disqualified for this round anyway. So yeah. Good thing that I basically have sorted this out right now. So I think this will be the first disqualification in ARO competitions in a while. I believe it's since 2022, and this is not the technical reasons, but also it's actually for sporting reasons. So we are just gonna. Bad tours as a result of the on. The race continue to progress per usual with about 7 laps to go. So it's confirmed Ray Gonzalez will be given the DSQ thing. So basically, Kamner Riba will score a point. Alright, so right now I do see him leading Goodwin. These drivers, of course, still needs to make a pit stop. So a look into the standings here will dictate that Riba will be the 30th place finisher. Tawan Bumin will be the one finishing in the 29th. Who's left? Chromie 28th, Zacharias 27th. Romy 28th, Zacharias in 27th, so there will be at least some form of salvaging for him. Let me see, Enzo Ferrari in 27th. Sorry. Has made the pass on to the Guyana. It's a Peko Miko moment, if you remember that. No longer a thing for reasons, but anyways, they're now going to go side by side into the Mulsanne corner. Guyana now tries to go down the inside and see if he can stick the move. Meanwhile, a bit of an update here at the moment. Qualifying has just concluded. Alcalá Zagarde will start on pole position for tomorrow's FHCS race in Barcelona. Sharaka Fubuki will start second with Ella in third. Lapis Swap and Nursery Rukov running in 5th place. So this means one thing, Samiake will need to do something from 8th place to see if he can continue this vein of form. Santuriana will start in 27th, much to Dax's concern, unfortunately. Which Evans needs to make one more pit stop. Duciem needs to make one more pit stop. Same goes for Goodwin. Asano will be making his pit stop soon enough. Shakariza, meanwhile, we'll see if he can hang on. It looks to me that it will be for him. Battle continues for them. Rustin Carrasco will be credited with 26. Rustin Carrasco will be credited with 26. Toshasahi will be credited with 25th. Asano has made his pit stop and will be his last one. 24th will be Cashew. 23rd will be Alex Grant. And the 22nd will be, let me just be our retirees done, and Kinsai is looks to be pretty much out and out as well. I think we have a check on what happened to him, but I think if for purposes of this one, we are gonna see what happened here. So, oh no, he's not out of this race. Sorry, he's not out of this race. This means that this is just gonna be a scheduled pit stop for him. So he will be out in 17th. So that will be 18 rides out already. A second. So that, sorry, no. Just double check here. So Enzio Ferrari to coming out of Riba, the drivers who have already been out of this race. That makes 13 runners who are already out. Raymond Gonzalez is listed as a DSQ for the crash for causing a massive pileup. This calls for a revamp in the sporting regulations as to what dictates as a penalty and what dictates as a DSQ. Samiake, meanwhile, lines up a move against his fellow gamers teammate. Well, technically he's in two teams of sorts. He's in both Gen 1 and Gamers. It's an unofficial team of sorts. It's based on Gen. Hope you guys can understand. But anyways, we're just gonna press on with the race at hand right now. Of course, already doing a very good job in 8th place. Position, but we'll have to see how strategies will unfold. He's going to be banking on the field mileage here, so he might just afford to do a lot of lifting and coasting. He does have one lap of spare fuel in that fuel tank right now, for sampling purposes. Alright, so Akozuri, who had been piling on the pressure on Samiake for the past lap or two, is now about to make a move onto Ake, and a great move running inside at the Daytona chicane has already dispatched Samiake, and now Samiake is going to try to line up a move him for himself to take the position back, and already Ake making his move known. As we're seeing Azuri now trying to continue to see off the pressure. Azuri around the inside. Oh, there's contact between Azuri and Samiake. Same thing what happened to Javier Luzbi has happened to Samiake. Heartbreak for the Zukonbu! Let's check the replay as to what happened to the two. Oh, that's a bit ugly. That's a bit ugly for Sammy. He's already trying to go up from Hook. He tried to see if he can get the move done, but hop onto the curb. Couldn't stop the car in time, hit the side of Azuri as he was behind. He will be the one who is out of this race, and no penalties will be given because the ones who made the contact, it will be credited as Ake, and Banake will be the one who will be finishing in 17th as a result. Alright, so back into the running here of this Le Mans 600 Split A race. We're about to complete the first of the 300-kilometer races. DCM currently running in second place against Dan Evans. Remember, both the drivers alongside Goodwin will have to make one pit stop. Shaka Reza will have no need to make one more pit stop. Also, will have to make another pit stop. Azuri will also need to make a pit stop at the end of this lap, mind you. Skaji Mikolev, meanwhile, will not make any more pit stops. So we're going to be seeing if Mikolev will be consolidating second place as a result. And by the way, he has a pretty healthy fuel gap right now. Be similar to Shaka Frez's level. We'll have to see here. If Shaka Freza will have enough fuel for the checkered flag, or if DCM and Goodwin will be able to close the gap back. Evans, meanwhile, has a 3-second gap on the Maverick DCM, looking very fancy to get win number 3 this season in International, as well as a second consecutive win in World Qualifiers, which will not only guarantee his spot as the champion of his split in Split B, but also secure him a spot in the World Seal. If he wins here, then it will be a very healthy gap for the IRNEO 15 driver. Tanner, meanwhile, in 14th place, still looking for the spot against Azuri. Both of them, I believe, have already made their pit stops. Is now up into 6th place. Seconds the gap between Evans and DCM. Goodwin also Tanarao now looking to see if he can line up a move down the inside against Azuri right now. Azuri currently running in 13th. Side by side as they're now about to approach the Michelin curves. The chicane they go. Still doing pretty okay right now. Being able to stop the car in time. Still going alongside Azuri as Goyena also tries to go down in basically go side by side with Yukihara Toka. very close there for Toka, but looks to me that he's able to force Guyana to break early for that move. It was a very risky move, but he was able to get it done. Meanwhile, DCM has now gone on into the pits. We are expecting Evans to do the same as well, but you are seeing him having issues with the car. He's already lost a lot of time, and now he's going to open the door for Jay Goodwin to make the move as well. Goodwin looking for his second consecutive win. Evans looking for his third consecutive win. Now with both drivers racing at the same time, only one of them will continue the streak. Speaking of which, if you want to know what happened to Evans there, I'm not sure what happened. And here's what happened, because here's a rare blunder from the race leader, because here's what happened here. Hits too much at the curb, too overzealous on the throttle, and hits the inside wall. He has already blown a 3-second gap, and he now has suspension damage to boot. It's gonna be a very long 5 laps for him. And remember, these two will still need to make a pit stop, and it's gonna be a long service for him. So I think that might be his chance to win a race over. The dynasty for Dan Evans gone in a flash. All because he took too much curb at the final corner of the circuit, spun himself out, and hits the inside wall. But right now he is surviving, but only barely. Still pretty much a big question mark. Goodwin still able to keep on the pressure right now. Azuri now goes up into 12th, and Tara as well. Toka has now just exited. Takeda Adachi doing a good job right now, currently running in 15th place. Could it be 14th place? But I think the answer is going to be no. Forica Mendez now running in 9th place, but remember, he time at mid-pack will be over. There were honestly protests though from the KFP camp saying that Mendes was not the one involved in the incident. He wasn't the one who spun out and blocked cars. It was Raymond Rosales instead, but then I was mostly just using my eyes, and I'm also the one who supposed to host the races, so I can only comment that one. Unfortunately, the decision to reinstate to basically undo the penalty for Forica Mendez is in. And it will now be transferred to Raymond Rosales, who have been given a DSQ, a disqualification from the race for causing a massive pileup. Obviously, there was no precedence to this, because I think this is into way too hard, lost control, and then emerged in front of the pack, and then causing the retirement of 900 cars. That's not going to fly to a lot of people, as we're now going to see the sunset here in Le Mans. Sun already down there, already pretty much down. Dan Evans and Jay Goodwin will be making their way into the pit stops. Evans will be expected to have a very long service to get that car serviced. Well, oh my god, the amount of repeating words is crazy. But anyways, Corey Mendes is also going to be called into the pits. Shakir Rizal will retake the lead. But the big question is, does he have enough fuel to run until the end, or will he make a last lap pit stop, undoing his chances of a race win? Shaka Reza is gonna go for his first points-paying race. Gonna go for his first points-paying race win. Well, before we're gonna continue with the talk here, we are just gonna check on what's happening in the VTRP, in the FHWC qualifying session. So updates currently it stipulates that Ayu Narisu is currently on pole position. Shogai Noel in second, Todoroki Hajime in third. Alison Tanarov is currently running pretty decently in 13th place in the ARO right now. For Nekomata Kayu, who's currently running in 6th. Moses Nene qualifying in 8th place, while Shaki Reza is about to see if he can get the chance to get the race win. You probably might see that. That's basically my channel subscriptions. You can thank the partner thing on that. But anyways, we are just gonna keep going here in Le Mans with not much of this race left. Shakareza is now ahead of Duciem, who's now ahead of Evans. As it stands, Duciem will win his second consecutive race if Shakareza does pit in the end. Oh, and Samiake, I just realized Samiake, Samiake has that crash with the Aqua Azuri, so nothing to really write home about. So yeah, Samiake will be listed as retirement but at least he will be credited with 17th place. Kinsai's spot in 16th looks to be secure, so we're just gonna record him on that. Adachi, who is running in 15th right now, doing a decent job to bring more points to the table. And then we also have the likes of Corey Mendez, who had received a 5-minute penalty, but after deliberation from the stewards, that has now been undone, so he will most likely be credited with a 14th place finish as a result, unless he moves a position or goes down a position. That is something. Naratoka will be credited with 13th, and Tanaro, meanwhile, will be set to finish in 12th place for Nekomata Kaiju. A good return to his campaign as he's looking to qualify for the CO. Aquazuri just missing out the top 10, but it's still a pretty much a commendable effort from the Sumatomo. What's that wizard? He's going to keep his head up high. Of course, Corey did not participate in the 7th Fest, but that didn't stop him from racing at Fuji at the behest of the organization, who also would seem to not race as well. He's the driver currently outside the top 10. Hoshizuna Rio, who won in Fuji, will have to be good for, will have to just bear with that 9th place right now. But then again, pit stop cycles might happen again. Kaczynski, meanwhile, Raiji Kaczynski with 8th place at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see. Oh, as you mentioned, Hoshizuna Rio has gone on into the pits, so he will drop by a few more positions. We're going to talk about that later. That leaves Shakib Reza, who is currently leading this race. Duciem, who's currently running in 2nd. Evans, who currently runs in 3rd, will bring home a massive 175 points. 2nd in the regular rounds, and as well. Good win with 4th place as well, doing a good job for him so far. Mr. Gaiji Megalab, meanwhile, will be get 5th place. Asano with a great 6th place run. Give him credit for that. And Goyena will be set to get off there in 7th place. Hoshizano Rio has dropped down to 14th place. So the current running order is Shaka Riza, UCM, Evans, Goodwin, Mikalev, Asano, Goyena, Kaczynski, Wizard, Azuri, Antanarao, Toka, Mendez, and Rio. And then Adachi, Kinsai, Ake, Ferrari, Miyuki, Luzmi, Prower, Fumi, Grant, Kashu, Asahi, Kurashio, Zacharias, Kromi, Bumin, and Riba. But we still need to pay attention to a few more drivers who will be potentially making one more pit stops. Shakib Reza, Danilo Goyena. Danilo Goyena as well as Isakaji Mikalev. Akko Azuri, Yukara Toka, Kinsai. Potentially having to make one more pit stop here as Rio will continue his run in 14th place. Currently, the big talk will be to Shakib Reza. Can he hang on for Moses Zanenez's first win in HoloProto and to join the list of VTubers who have won in all 3 competitions, as well as in the driver's list as well? Shakib Reza is doing an amazing job so far to try to bring this car up into the front. Starting on pole position, he chose to basically just take it easy in the first race, well, in the first half of the race, to try to stretch the field for as long as he can. He has essentially 2 more laps to put his Moses Zanene number 77 up at the top step of the podium, as qualifying has already concluded. Asano, meanwhile, currently running in 6th place. As Goyena have now gone on into the pits, that won't be enough for him. And right now we will be shutting off the race film monitor for lack of spoilers. So right now it will be a big question on whether or not Shakib Reza will hang on until the end of this race. Goyena, meanwhile, has just gone in, and he will be losing a bit of ground as a result. Here comes Osnet Wizard, here comes Azuri, here comes Antanarao, and also Toka. Still having that car get stopped there. That looks to be that Goyena will be dropping down to 12th place. Toka has already had this thing covered. But all eyes will be on Shakib Reza. Goyena, meanwhile, just gonna go ahead as per usual. So Goyena now drops down to Goyena currently running in 12th place. As a result of the pit stop, that will put Kaczynski now up into 7th, Wizard 8th, Azuri 9th, Alcantara in 10th. So looking at the progress chart once again, the biggest gainer is of course Isakaji Mikalev, who started in 24th, but is now currently inside the top 5. So great stuff from the Sakura Miko driver, who has done a good job to consolidate his position. 22 currently in Mama Shakira's control. We're not going to turn on the race field monitor for purposes of not spoiling us the agony or excitement or ecstasy of Shakira being able to start the final lap without having to think about having to make an additional pit stop. Because if he does, then it will gift the win to Maverick DCM, his fellow Gen 5 teammate. And the answer will be no! Shakir Reza will continue. The fuel will hold up. Shakir Reza will start the final lap of this race in the lead. And it looks to me that he will have enough in the fuel tank to go for one more lap here in Le Mans. Moses Nene has just announced that she will be making her live concert, her own solo concert for herself. It will be the Hanasaku ne 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 ne. It's a very long title, but Nene Cheese's first live concert on the 29th of July in the Tokyo Garden Theater. And right now, Shakir Reza is gonna see this one through. Duciem will have to settle for second. Deb Evans will have to settle for third. Both of them, they're basically powerhouses in their respective. Splits. In JP and Int, Shakir Reza will make sure that he spoils that party. Shakir Reza now currently about to get into the Mulsanne corner to get things done. Right now, we're just gonna see if Shakir Reza is able to hang on. The lead to second place is already at 11 seconds. But might there be a last lap pass? I don't think that might be the case. Shakir Reza still has this race pretty much under control. You gotta have to give credit though to Shakir Reza, who has been one of the top drivers in ARO competitions. In all ARO competitions so far, Shakir Reza has won 6 points paid races, 5 in Formula Hololive, 1 in Hololive GT3. And he will put himself in that name once again. He will put himself in that conversation once again. As he now comes into the final set of quarters here, into the Porsche curves. Moses and Nene. Write the name into the history books here, as Shakir Reza is going to channel Nene Cheese's inner explosive energy into this race with a clinical one-stop strategy to put himself ahead of the rest of the field. No issues for Shakir Reza. He will take his first HoloProto win. Moses and Nene's first HoloProto win. They take the Le Mans 600 Split A. UCM will finish second, Evans in third, Goodwin in fourth, Mikulev rounds out the top 5 from 24th on the grid. This will be Shakir Reza's first points-paying win in HoloProto. Yeah, hang on, I gotta get this. as we have now reached the conclusion of this Le Mans race. We still have Kaczynski, who crosses in 7th, Asano in 6th. It's a great window for Momashaka Reza, who has taken the checkered flag. Wizard will cross the line in 8th, Azuri in 9th, Alson Tanara will cross the line in 10th place. As it stands, this will be Shaka Reza's 7th win. Or rather, yeah, Energies' 7th win in ARO competitions. This will be their debut win. Very much exciting stuff all around. For this World Campaign, Toka in 11th, Guyana 12th, Mendes 13th, Rio 14th. Wait, hang on, just check. Yep, Korika Mendes 13th. And then we have Rio 14th, Adachi 15th. So yeah, let's take a look into the running order of this race. Shaka Reza, of course, takes the checkered flag over Maverick Duciem. And then we also got Dan Evans in 3rd, Jay Goodwin 4th, Mikolev 5th, Hugh Tasano 6th, Kaczynski 7th, Austin Wizard 8th, Aqua 9th, and Alson Tanner runs out of the top 10. Toka in 11th, Guyana 12th, Corey Mendes 13th, Rio 14th, Adachi 15th, Kinzai 16th, Sami Aki 17th, Enzo Ferrari 18th, Miyuki 19th, and Javi Luzmi rounds up in the top 20 places. Sami Aki will be the first driver who have DNF, as we've established earlier. Great Power in 21st. And looking at the rest of the field here, it will be Hofumi, who will be finishing in 22nd, Alex Grant 23rd, Mohamed Kashif 24th, and then 25th will be Joshua Asahi, Karashi 26th, Sakaris 27th, Romy in 28th, Tawan Bumin in 29th place, and 30th place will be Kaminen Riba. And if you want to know why I shuffled Raymond Rosales down, it's because he has been disqualified from this race after he had caused a massive 9-car pileup from his own mistake. So again, apologies if I had to say that, but this is indeed the facts. And I cannot apply grid penalties for next race anyway, so I guess I have to apply the penalties now. So yeah, that should be the race here in Le Mans. Yes. Alright, we're just gonna get everything safe before we get into the results of each of the individual split, because if you want to know how it works here is that, well, give me just a second, I'm just gonna, yes, get out. Give me a moment. I need a moment. We're just gonna get everything sorted out before we finish this one, and then after that we will basically check the points here. Alright, so we're just gonna see first if the results will be saved. I hope it will. I'm just gonna hold my bated breath, and it says race cancelled. It says race cancelled. I don't really get, and it doesn't even properly record the results anyway. Absolutely crazy. It recorded the qualifying, but it didn't record the race. Alright, so we're just gonna have to do this the manual way after this. So we're gonna share the standings right now. And after Le Mans, Maverick Duciem will still hold on into the Split A lead over Hoshizano Rio and Danilo Goyena. With Tawan Boom in 4th, Raji Kaczynski in 5th. At 177 and 172 points. It looks to me that with the 9th place driver still within mathematical contention to win the title, it's still anyone's game to qualify for the World CO as well. Kaczynski, of course, still within shot to win the title as well. However, for Toka, it will be game over as to become the Split A winner. As for Split B, on the other hand, Dan Evans will have secured the position to qualify for the World CEO, being well over 200 points ahead of Enzo Ferrari in the Aurora Pantera car. Well, sorry, it's Matías Zacarias. We've managed to mix up the names. So that is essentially it. Also, Monster Reza still now is about to be in the precipice to beat Dan Evans in basically the split B standings. Asano third, Reba fourth, Mikolev fifth, Goodwin sixth, Wizard seventh, and Zacharias still within the cutoff line for Rara Pantera. Azuri only barely in it. Fumi 10th, Grant 11th, and Vizor Ferrari 12th, Menace 13th, Crusher 14th, and Evelyn Cromie will round up the 15-car standings here for Split B in HoloProto World Qualifiers. The other way, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning into the stream. It's been honestly very lonely though, but we're just gonna have to bear with me. We're just gonna have to bear with things here. And with that out of the way, we'd like to finish the stream. We hope to see you all for tomorrow's Split B stream, which covers the qualifier Split C and Split D streams combined into one. Same start time, 4 p.m. Central European time. Hope to see you all there for the race as well. With that being said, my name is Omar Reza in the commentary booth, and you've been watching the Split A combined race of the Le Mans 600. We hope to see you tomorrow for Split B coming up. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.